Today I'm going to be fixing the United States with 3 simple goals. Under 30 states, equal states with population and GDP, and better looking states. So first I started by making one big Dakota, because why is there 2 Dakotas? There's barely any people in each Dakota anyway, so the combined population will only be over a million, so a little over a million. And then I combined Montana and Wyoming because the same thing applies there. And then I decided, well, there's barely any people in Idaho too, but that would be too big of a state. So why not give up Idaho's land to that big Montana, Wyoming state and just make a new state there? So I combined all of that, and then I made Washington and Oregon into one bigger coastal state. And then I also broke up that huge big state into 2. And I felt like this gave a better shape and better look. And as you'll see, isn't that big one rectangle pretty satisfying on the right? It's just like a big long rectangle. You never see that in the US. Yeah, you do. And then I thought, well, I like having population centers and stuff, so I decided to put these 3 states together and then break them up into just 2. The upper part, which would have Salt Lake City and stuff in it, and then the lower part, which would have Phoenix and Las Vegas. So there'd obviously be more people in the lower part, but I still like the look of the state as a whole better, and I wanted to make less states, so it was helped breaking up this into 2. And also, California has a lot of people, so why not break California up into 2 too, the north and the south? And then we head down to some other states, like the Midwest. And the Midwest, well, there's way too many states there. And I figured, why not make these 4, or as you'll see, 5 states into only 3. So I decided to break them up. First, you're going to have Minnesota and Wisconsin combined. And then next, well, as you'll see, I'm making Chicago, but I also wanted to make another state right down here with Missouri and Illinois. And I figured this would be too big, so I broke it up into 2. The north of it and the south. And I gave the north, pretty sure I gave it Kansas City. I think Kansas City's in that area. And then I gave the south, just the south of Illinois and Missouri. Then I moved to a different part of the country, which is Virginia, where I figured, well, why is West Virginia there? Also, why does it have a panhandle? That looks gross. So I just gave up the panhandle to Pennsylvania. Because why? And then I gave up half of West Virginia to Kentucky. And then that kind of looked bad, so I gave up some of Ohio to Kentucky too. Not that much, but just a little bit. And then after that, I moved to a totally different part of the country, which is the South. And I figured, I don't like the panhandle that Oklahoma has. Why not just give it to Texas? No, I'm kidding. I gave the whole panhandle section below it to Oklahoma. And then I figured, well, Texas still has that other kind of panhandle on the side, so I gave that up to New Mexico too. But then when I did that, it looked kind of ugly, so I kind of just redid it. So I turned the 3 states into just 2. Or I turned the 3 states into 3 states, never mind. But I gave Oklahoma a huge bit of land, and then I moved New Mexico down, and Texas just got smaller. I then looked at Nebraska, and I don't like panhandles, so I removed Nebraska's panhandle and basically just let them take over like a third of Colorado because like Nebraska barely has any people anyway, so a little bit more wouldn't like do anything. And then I went to the Northeast, and I think Pennsylvania gets skimped out on the ocean, so I gave them that whole ocean, and I gave them part of Lake Erie too. And then I also gave Maryland, Delaware, because Delaware is such a small state. By New Jersey, by Delaware, and then I combine these upper states like Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, and also I combined Vermont and New Hampshire with Maine, which made that whole New England region into just 2 states. I also got rid of Maryland's panhandle because I don't like panhandles. And I just made their border a lot cleaner, as you'll see. Oh, I also have COVID, I'm pretty sure, while filming this, so. So I think Virginia gets done dirty in this video. They get less land, but they don't need any land anyway. And as you'll see, I gave Pennsylvania that huge section, so they get Niagara Falls now. And then in the South, I thought, I'm not going to combine North Carolina and South Carolina. I'm going to combine South Carolina to Georgia because they look like they're more similar anyway. Then I also gave Alabama that panhandle on Florida. And as you'll see, I make these 4 states into 3. Because Mississippi doesn't need to be its own state. Does it? So I gave up the part of Memphis there, just to Mississippi. And then I just cut this section in half, but left New Orleans to the left side. Now I was thinking the map looked pretty good. I only needed a few more things to fix. First of all, I like that Upper Peninsula in Michigan. So I just gave them more of an Upper Peninsula, as you'll see. I also kind of reworked this bottom section, but it didn't really end up being that different. It just looked a little bit more scribbly. I think I gave Michigan a little bit more land in the end, though. And yeah, I just beefed up that panhandle, well, not panhandle, Upper Peninsula. So that's all part of Michigan now. And as you'll see, I have put the new names on the map. So here are the names of the new states. Tell me which state you're from in the comments, what new state, and be sure to like the video and subscribe. Thank you.